you're a senior engineer looking for promotion to get to the next level in your career, or you're a staff engineer, you want to maximize your impact in your company, this video is for you. In this video, I want to talk about the staff engineering position, the skill sets, and how you can be impactful in your company, all from a book called The Staff Engineering Path from Tanya Reilly. So stay tuned. What exactly is a staff engineer? It's a senior technical role while you're leading with your expertise. It's not about managing people. Staff engineers help their team to shape their decisions and make sure the projects are aligned with the company's goal. They don't do just tasks, they build system and plan. Instead of managing people, this job is about leadership, collaboration, communication, while being very good at technical stuff. Why organizations value staff engineers? Reading my highlights from the book. Guiding teams through complex decisions, offering a broader perspective to align multiple teams and drive business goals, setting technical standards that reduce technical depth and ensuring long-term maintainability. Staff engineers elevate their team through mentorship, setting high standards, and tackling complex problems hand-on. Their influence shape not just project, but entire organizational practices. Staff engineers often tackles ambiguous, complex, and difficult problems, doing just enough to make it manageable for others. The more senior you become, the more you will rely on a strong communication. Almost everything you do will involve conveying information from your brain to someone else, and vice versa. During a crisis, there is no such thing as not my job. In the middle of an outage, you should be comfortable stepping outside of your day-to-day experience, leading when necessary, learning what you need to learn, and fixing what you need to fix. Part of the value of a staff engineer is that you don't simply stay in your lane. You don't always need to go deep into every problem. At some point, you should delegate tasks to others. Focusing too narrow on a specific scope can lead to several issues, including lack of impact, opportunity cost, overshadowing other engineers, and over-engineering. Your time as a staff engineer is highly valuable. Every time you choose to work on something, you are also choosing what not to do. So be deliberate and thoughtful about what you take on. Based on the book, a staff engineer needs to have a solid foundation of technical skills. On top of that, there are 3 pillars a staff engineer needs to master, and those are: first, big picture thinking. Understand how projects fit into a broader business context. 2, product execution. Deliver high quality, impactful solution while collaborating effectively. 3, leveling up. Help teams around you grow through mentorship, code review, and sharing best practices. In this video, I will focus on the first pillar, which is the big picture. From the basic definition of a staff engineer, the responsibility, and positioning yourself in your organization. The next section is called the 3 map. It offers 3 different types of map to help a staff engineer to perform better in an organization. The first one is the Locator map. Locator map help you to have a better perspective about the organization and the position you are in that time. Sometimes you are deep down into a project or a problem, and you need to step back and have a broader viewpoint about the organization and what you are doing in that moment, and treating the project you are doing objectively based on the long-term plans. And this type of point of view help you to make decisions better, make the people treat better, and so on. There are 2 other things to have a more informative Locator map. One is having a cross-department relationship. You should be able to communicate with other departments, from customer care, from marketing, and this way help you to have a better perspective and seeing yourself in the organization and making the decisions better. And the second one is about having some kind of awareness about your surrounding, what kind of projects are going on in the organization or have been done in the past. This way, if you have any problem, you can look back on those projects and they might even solve your current problem, and you don't need to do it again. Just getting help from those projects which already exist in your organization help you a lot to save time. Topographical map. It's about understanding the personality of your organization, the culture, how people in a company treat each other. Do they trust each other? Are they open or not? How do they work? How your leaders prefer to work, how the decisions are getting made. About the decision, you need to be involved in those decisions as a staff engineer. Sometimes, especially if you are a new joiner, you get confused. Some projects getting started, some decisions are getting made, you are not fully aware of those till they get started. To be aware about those decisions, you need to be proactive and making connection with people. Ask your leader to, if it possible, to join those Slack channels, to be involved in those decision makers and make yourself as an insider. Remember, when you join in a group, you have to respect the job have done before. You cannot deny all of that. You have to respect. There might be a reason behind of that. Eventually, you gain some trust and you can be an influencer in those groups and making an impact in an organization. The last section of this part, start telling a story about a software company. They're having a simple idea and it's called sock matcher. They match the lost socks, and in the platform people can find their lost sock. It is a very simple idea, but by the time they develop more features on this software like button matcher and adding a food container matcher to find the lead if it's lost. But you can imagine everything is building on top of each other with messy if-else condition, with a monolithic service, which make things much more difficult for new joiner and or even those people who want to develop the feature. And yeah, it's a very messy system, and based on this system and case study, the book explained some procedure to solve this problem. The first thing it mentioned is about vision and strategy. Vision is where you want to get there in the future. What is your goal and what is the ideal software you want to achieve in, for example, in next year? That's the vision. And what is a strategy? The strategy is the action you want to apply to get to your vision and how you want to do your job. That's the strategy. And you want to diagnose the problem at the moment. What is the problem with our system? It's a monolith, messy system. Everything's coupled and it's very hard to develop, and even we cannot add new feature to that. And the next is defining how you want to do that, how you want to fix this problem, and what action does it need to apply for a long term, for example a year you want to achieve to your vision, to the goal you have set. And you have to define this kind of action. After defining your vision and strategy, you need to collect ideas. You have to look around to see if somebody have any experience about this problem, if anybody before have tried to fix this problem, and just collecting some idea, and then you can start from there. After having a clear idea, you need to have a sponsor, somebody who is higher than you, like a VP or your director. They can support you while you are working on this idea. If you want to present your idea to a group of people in a meeting, having a sponsor give a higher credit to your idea, and then everyone will trust your idea and project and what you are going to do. Choose your group, talk with different teams and their managers, and to find out who are interested to work on this idea, or maybe somebody have experience before and want to contribute on this idea and project. Set a scope for your project, define where you want to start and where you want to finish, and what area you want to touch in the current implementation. Make your project achievable and reasonable. Based on the company policy and the amount of resource you have, the time, consider everything and then scope your project. About being reasonable, in the book there's an image of a vector. It shows how your project is reasonable. From unthinkable, which you cannot even start your project, to policy, which is makes sense for everyone to start this. The next one is about writing. It's a process. You have to start with a rough draft and then adding more details, interview with people, again adding more information and getting some idea of feedback, and be prepared to change it because people have different opinions and you may apply their opinion. Also consider your document need to be understandable to everyone. Make it like a story and make it relatable to everyone. Having just some kind of technical information in your document doesn't really help to understand. So twist it a little bit to relate it to people's problem, how it can solve a problem from another person, and then they can rely on this document and they can support you later on when you're starting your project and so on. Eventually you need to make your idea official. As book suggested, create a second version of your documentation in only one page in a different format like a presentation, and present it in an all-hand meeting. Then everyone can see it and it's credit to you, and they can expect in a year they have a huge improvement in the system. Being a staff engineer is not only about the technical skills. As you saw in this video, based on the first part of the book, there are so many other skills you need to have, like communication and leadership. I tried to cover the next two parts of the book in a separate videos. To be honest, creating this video about the first part of the book was way more difficult than I was expected. So I hope I could create two other videos about the next two part of the book, and so stay tuned. And I would like to ask you to like the video if you like the content and subscribe to the Otago channel. If you have any question or you want to have a discussion about the content, just write it down in the comment section, then we can talk about it.